As-Salisa, Siddiqa Alaihas Salaam narrates, Noor-e-Mujassam Habeebullah, Hu'dur Swallallahu, Alaihi Salam sacrificed cow on behalf of Ummul Alaihinnas Salam, SubhaanAllah. Sacrificing cow and consuming beef is distinctive Sunnat Shareef for Muslims. Still, the media spreads propaganda against sacrificing cow and consuming beef with the passive instigation of a clique of officials who live on the charity of cow-worshipper Kaafirs, disbelievers and mushriks, polytheists. Na'uzubillah. The audacity of the local agents of Islamophobic Indian cow-protectionists contravenes the level of tolerance of 98% Muslim population. Therefore, Muslims, who constitute 98% population of the country, shall not stand any propaganda, movement and conspiracy against sacrificing cow and consuming beef. Qawl Shareef. Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Sallam focal Wali-Allah of the age. Imaam and Mujtahid of the age. Imaamul Aimmah. Muhyus Sunnah. Qutwubul A'alam. Mujaddide A'azwam. Qwaiyumuz-Zaman. Jabbariul Awwal. Qwawewool Awwal. Sultanun-Naseer, Habeebullah, Jamiul Alqab, Awladur Rwasool. Maulana Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Sallam says, Many Gaura Govinda has been born in India after that of Suhat. Dayananda and Saraswati established the Aryans. In 1892, they started the cow protection movement and it eventually turned into a riot. At the same time, Gangadhar, a violent Hindu terrorist from Maharashtra, established Cow Murder Prevention Committee. This so-called committee distributed a handbill all around the subcontinent titling Scream of Cow. It was broadly distributed among Hindus and it resulted in a widespread riot. Many Muslims were martyred by violent Hindu terrorists. Na'uzubillah, Mujaddide A'azwam Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Alaihis Salaam adds. Even the sectarian terrorist ringleader of the so-called liberation movement of India, the mushrik polytheist Gandhi, shared the same conviction. In 1921-22, when he was in the first row of the sectarian terrorists in the so-called liberation movement, he backstabbed Muslims by announcing that, I support the policy of cow protection not from the conventional outlook but from a broader perspective. I am all tied up by the ideals of Hinduism, na'uzubillah. This is the primary idealism of Hindus. Na'uzubillah, Mujaddide A'azwam Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Alaihis Salaam continues. It is sad but true that there is a group among the policymakers of the government who live on the charity of cow-worshipper Kaafirs, disbelievers and mushriks, polytheists, and they are extremely Hindu-conscious and Hindu-loving. Enjoying their favoritism, instigation and provocation, Hindus, being less than 2% of the total population, are trying to dominate the Muslim who constitutes 98% population. They are forcefully and unethically occupying the public jobs and culture. This could trigger an explosion of rage among the Muslim population any time now. Mujaddide A'azwam Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Alaihis Salaam describes Hindus have involved themselves in conspiring against sacred sacrifice. The clique of officials who live on the charity of cow-worshipper Kaafirs, disbelievers and mushriks, polytheists, are directly assisting them. This has deeply wounded the religious consciousness of 98% population who are Muslims. Mujaddide A'azwam Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Alaihis Salaam continues. The fictionist media, on the other hand, speaks against sacrificing cow and beef. Their main agenda is to oppose Deen Islam. It is worth mentioning that when millions of cows are slaughtered in millions of slaughterhouses every day and tens of millions of mass people consumes beef, even those who opposes beef, they never speaks against beef and they also do not have its right. And if anyone speaks so, he will not be able to live in Bangladesh, the country of Muslims who constitute 98% population. Mujaddide A'azwam Sayyiduna Imaamul Aimmah Alaihis Salaam sums up, the main thing is sacrifice. Seeing cow and consuming beef is sheer symbol of Islam. Muslims, who constitute 98% population, love sacred Deen Islam more than their life and they give it highest priority. Therefore, 98% Muslim population shall protest and forfeit if there is any conspiracy against sacred sacrifice and any hit on sacred deen Islam, even if it costs them their lives, inshallah.